Welcome back to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert. I'm here with Tom from Pong, the creator, and we've been talking about all things, the origin of it, Shark Tank journey, how it's used, Tom's addiction journey, the hero's journey. I want to get more into that too, but we ended last episode talking about pickleball. Brief story, my dad was the guy who brought pickleball into our life back in 1983, way before the boom. He grew up in Washington where it was invented, but he heard about it reading in a Sunset article, and he was a big tennis player, but he wanted something in our backyard. We couldn't fit a tennis court, but he measured out and said, we could fit a pickleball court. So my dad and I built a pickleball court in our backyard, and it's still there today,
Oh,
41
wow.
years or 42 years later. So when you mentioned the pickleball connection and ping pong or pepper pong feeling like pickleball, I said, yes, that's 100% right. Tell me about the correlation between pepper pong and pickleball.
Yeah, it was never intentional. And honestly, I sort of saw the similarities because I played pickleball and I really enjoy it. And pickleball, if you think of tennis, you think about a month's worth of lessons before you can go out on the court, and then maybe you get a rally going back and forth. Whereas pickleball, you get the rules explained to you for half an hour, and all of a sudden you're like in your first heated match. And so that's what I think has caused such high growth for that sport. And as we were unveiling our game and prototyping it and testing it, we would do a lot of that at pickleball courts because there crowds of people were around. So we'd set up folding tables, and people could not dismiss the similarity in terms of the pace of play between pepper pong and pickleball. We actually went and we set up a booth when we first launched in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the home of the pepper, and and it was like a pro-am pickleball tournament, and some of the biggest names in pickleball were there: Zane Navratil, Paris Todd, Cam Blackwood, who's now more of an announcer for the Tennis Channel. And they were like, oh my God, can I take a set of this with me? Because I want to practice on Saturday night on my kitchen table so I don't have to go to the gym all the time. And so literally the angles of the shots and the speed of the pace of play is like almost the same as pickleball on a small surface.
So I love what you said there because it was an adaptation. This game is open to adaptation, which is one of my favorite things, right? I teach improv and storytelling to the Parkinson's community. And this game is not only an adaptation built on familiar, it is a yes and, as we would say, but it also allows for what you're saying, the use of it in creative ways. One of the things we did with my dad, we were having a hard time getting rallies, and I was trying to teach him. He kept trying to scoop at the ball, and I was like, I really think you want to hit down at it because you're scooping, you're not getting what you want. So we set him up against the wall with a table, right? And what I did was I gave him two paddles because in one of the things we do in Parkinson's, we have what we call rock steady boxing, and they talk about cross hemisphere work, right hand, left hand, getting the neurology there, getting him to hit like this with both hands back and forth really made quick gains. Go ahead.
Like this? Like that guy?
Yeah, there you go. Just like that.
Yeah, that was this was done by our investor from Shark Tank, Todd Graves.
Todd Graves.
He put these full-size cutouts in all the Raising Cane's restaurants around the country. It was pretty funny. But he photoshopped in the two paddles.
Yeah. What has that connection been like with Raising Cane's? Has that been like somewhere where people recognize it? Because I mean, Todd's phenomenal.
Todd is he's become my business hero and mentor. I mean, he is world class. He is truly a great human being, and he's just been a delight to work with. So and frankly, I wasn't really planning on necessarily raising capital on Shark Tank. I was going to take a serious look at it, but not all those deals close, and so I've heard that the terms can be a little bit punitive depending on which shark it is. And Todd ended up being the guy that won out that night, and then we did consummate a deal after the fact. So he's great guy.
Well, that's you talk about the nature of this being inclusive. Business is at its heart a relationship thing. So when you find someone who's not just business savvy and helpful in that regard, but is a great person, and I saw that in the show too. He got your mission. He got you as a person. And because I'm a huge fan of the show, when I see a relationship built that makes sense, that makes me as happy as anything else. I'm number one, extraordinarily happy for the entrepreneur, but I'm also happy for the shark when I see their heart open up. Yeah, of course, I want to see them be successful financially, but I love to see relationships. And I saw that with you and Todd.
Yeah, yeah, and it's even deeper than kind of what he portrays on TV. Sometimes, people have a persona that's public and then it's completely opposite. In his case, it's a multiple in terms of his genuine, nature in real life versus what his public persona is, which isn't always the case. And so it's just awesome.
That's so good to hear. Well, I want to come back. I got a couple more questions for you. You good? You come back for a couple more?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, buddy. We'll see you on the next dose.
All right.